Was kann man lieben Freunde? Hallo hier. Herzlich willkommen zur 18. Folge von Haus Fata Morgana Requiem von Innocence. Das haben wir letztes Mal schon gelesen. Aber, ja, letztes Mal haben wir Interlude in einem fetten Let's Play gemacht, so. Yeah. Und jetzt gehen wir rein in Part 2. What's past is Prolog. So hieß es gerade. Und, ja. War schon bei der Jugend. Wir sind jetzt hier. Okay, let's go.
This is a great shame what happened to Minerva.
Post-revolution merrymaking continued into the wee hours of the morning. After things settled down and the man returned to the city, an elderly man called himself Odilon showed himself before me. Mit Augen zu. Despite his evident age, the man stood tall and spoke in a clear, confident voice. Looking into his deep, sapphire eyes, I felt as though I could see everything he had borne witness to in these walls engraved within them. Odilon revealed himself as an ally of the revolution and as having been in contact with Ginevra.
Had things proceeded as initially planned, she was to take power and build the land anew with my assistance. But great change is never without its cost. Jetzt hat er ein Auge offen.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I am unspeakably grateful for how swiftly you managed to dethrone the former lord. Without your heroic efforts, we would still...
Enough with the ass kissing. Tell me who you are and exactly what you're hoping to get out of me.
No need to be so apprehensive, I assure you. I am more than happy to tell you everything you wish to know. I served as consul to the late Lord Jean-Francis Brognier. And it was I who aided the revolution from within the manor's walls, coordinating with Ginevra on the outside.
So that would make you the one who ordered the gates open for us, then?
Verily. Furthermore, I arranged to have a number of the guards turn cold.
Well, you did fine work. We would have lost a lot more men without your efforts. I have to ask though, where were you while it was actually happening? I don't recall seeing you anywhere.
I took the liberty of finding myself shelter.
How fortunate for you to be able to kick back and watch, only to crawl out of your hole after we relieved the Lord of his head.
Might you perchance be just suggesting this old bag of bones take up the blade? I would only serve as an impediment to your success. 30 years ago, mayhap, but hardly could I point a sword straight today. Or perhaps you would say that I, as a supporter of your cause, should have been present for the occasion regardless. But a little aid I would have been, merely dying a fool's death, becoming naught but another body upon which the living would wreck.
You skip with your words, old man.
Of course, this is my job. There is but one service I can provide you, my knowledge.
Knowledge? Meaning you intend to continue to serve as the Lord's counsel?
What other reason would I lend my hand to this revolution?
You expect me to believe that? You expect me to just take your word to trust you?
Surely you are aware that you cannot rightfully govern this territory without the acknowledgement of the neighboring counts and the king. I have knowledge and connections with which prove invaluable in establishing you as legitimately and qualified to inherit the throne.
Yes, I know. I did not sound to enter here blind. I still hadn't figured out how I would accomplish that, but... Wait, I recognize you from somewhere. I remember, you were here during the revolt 3 years ago. You're the one who helped Barnier escape.
This was indeed I.
That's all the more reason not to trust you. You sat back and watched another damn peep as the clan of Lord left his people to rot. Like hell I'm letting you be my counsel.
You are an astute young man, but still far too greedy for your own good. And you fail to fully separate yourself from your old life.
Excuse me?
I assure you, I was no more fond of Lord Banner's dilections than you. But as I am sure you are aware, he was quick to send his opponents off to the gallows. And he would be so much more merciful.
No. He would be no more.
Sorry. He would be no more, and he would be no more merciful to his consort than a swamp dweller. My objections would have ensured but one thing: a swift, meaningless death.
Objection.
However, you knew it was no time yet, no time, and stayed your hand, nay.
Moreover.
I too had reached the same conclusion and was waiting the appropriate time.
Oh, fuck. Oh, ich auch. Nicht, ich muss nicht kacken, aber oh, scheiße.
Ich auch.
Wie? Alle Aeroplugin.
Perfect time to rearrange the board. You must dispense of the childish emotion that controls you. Act exclusively in service of that which most benefits you. And you cannot do so much, you cannot do without someone guiding you, to guide you. You're still merely a fledgling young man. You know not up from down in the vast new world. And you have neither an army nor the weapons with which to defend yourself. Should you go out into that world unaccompanied, it will snap your neck before you feel the hands upon your skin.
And what benefits are you hoping to reap from this? And acting out of love for the people, that much is obvious.
A chance to fulfill my duties as consul to the Lord. My expertise went largely unused under Lord Barnier's rule. That was deeply frustrating time for me. Though, if I may be blunt, perhaps I would say that I would like to die knowing I have accomplished something worthwhile with my life. I can promise you I have no intention of mistreating the people for my own personal amusement.
You've still given me no reason to actually trust you.
Allow my work to speak for my words. Allow me to proffer unto you my knowledge, that it might be of service to you.
I don't completely trust this man, nor do I think I ever will. He's after something. Probably wants to use me as a puppet under the guise of assisting yeah. me as a counsel. He makes a good point though. I need someone to show me the ropes if I want any chance of governing effectively.
Have you come to a decision?
Okay. The pleasure to have you, Odilo.
At your service.
That said, try anything and you'll be out the door faster than you can blink.
Understood.
Good.
Now, if I may, I would like to offer my first instruction.
And what would that be?
You will need to make a formal proclamation of your succession. There are still many among your people who know not who you are. Thus, you must declare yourself the rightful heir, the lost son of Lord Vanier's predecessor.
Sagt man nicht pre, so wie Pre-Timeskip?
Habe ich gesagt?
Pre.
Yeah, previous. Yeah. You must assume it a new name.
Say again?
Say one more time. Sorry.
Oh, Martinho, more no less.
The name by which you were known before is but a bare hand which you guard your noble identity. And the time has come now for you to reclaim your true self. Reclaim yourself, no?
Yeah. Hold on a sec. And I'm not.
Yes, I'm aware of your lineage.
Okay, then what name do you suppose I should take? Hey! Okay.
You shall assume his name, Jean-Francois Bonnier.
Is this some kind of sick joke?
What a sick joke!
You're insane if you think I'm taking on that psychopathic killer's name. Why on this
Psychopathic.
Why on this green earth would I ever want to call myself after the man I dethroned?
Among the nobility, names are often passed on from father to father to son, from brother to
Ja,
brother.
damit man halt so die gleiche Fear behält, I guess, ne? But why his name? A name associated with fear and tyranny. Are you trying to hobble me before I take my first step?
You will remove the stains his deeds have left upon the name. Lord Bonnier killed his father, brothers, and all their families and attendants, as Ginevra likely told you. Why do you suppose he killed them?
Are you mocking me, old man? He killed him because he was a damn madman.
Lord Bonnier was not the rightful heir.
Excuse me?
He was merely a stand-in, to be disposed of and quietly replaced when came the time. However, he grew voracious for power, fixated on becoming the Lord himself.
Das stimmt nicht.
Was?
Odilon erzählt Lügen. Oder Bonnier hat sich selber so eingeredet, aber er hatte gesagt, er war der erste Sohn. Und weil er nicht bei allen anderen Leuten einen Arsch lecken wollte, wollten die anderen ihn assassinaten. Deswegen hat er alle gekillt. Und er erzählt es so, als wäre er nicht der erstgeborene Sohn gewesen. Und hat sich dann halt seinen Thron erkämpft. Also einer von beiden lügt. Und ich denke mal Odilon, weil Bonnier hatte keinen Grund zu lügen, da, als er mit Ding redet. Jaren. Tschüss für zu, ne?
Yeah. So he killed everyone who stood in his way.
Jetzt müsst ihr das letzte Mal anschauen, ne?
Both the Bonnier's family and the Taylors of the too. Sorry.
War schon.
Though he failed to realize that the Lord had stirred another son. You, the rightful inheritor of the Jean-Francois Bonnier name.
So that's our story, huh? I'm not the fake, he was.
When the truth is revealed, that the people will be enraptured, and crucially the damage to the brother To the brother.
Brother. Dear my brother.
Your family name will be minimized. After all, the Vanilles were but victims in this charlatans' welfare. Charlatans avarice. As you are to take on the Barnier family name, it is your benefit that the reputation you inherit is unblemished as possible. Furthermore, you have nothing to gain from keeping your present name. No longer are you the man you were in the slums, are you the man? You must become a new man entirely.
Enough! I need time to think. A day, give me just one.
I cannot. This is a matter of the utmost importance. You must act swiftly, for the opportunity will pass and the tide turn against you anon. The people are on your side for now. However, should you fail to expeditiously demonstrate that you, as the new lord, are likewise on their side, you will find yourself with more than the counts upon your doorstep. Count Chuku. You must decide now.
Es ist halt immer schade, dass keine Facial Expression Changes sind. Ja. Weil ich würde gerne sehen, wie er so Jacopo Twisted Face, wie er jetzt drüber nachdenkt. Ja.
Es gibt schon welche.
Ja, aber.
Sir.
Ja, du weißt. Alright. Er ist jetzt Stone-Faced. Es swallow my pride. I knew there would need to be some changes before I embarked on this road. So this isn't unexpected. Just moving quicker than I was prepared for.
A wise decision. Was ist eine wise decision?
Ja, das ist der Name annimmt von George.
Now, before we move to the next order of business, I must ask, are you physically well enough to remain on your feet for a short while longer? You will need to stand before your people and make a speech. Nevertheless, it is evident that you are wounded from a battle. Odilon, and to reflect poorly on your accomplishments where you collapse during your first appearance.
I'll be fine. I can hold myself up long enough to give a speech.
Oh. Youth, what a wonderful thing. You must be sure to get your rest once you're finished. I will arrange for the best doctor to come examine you.
Appreciate it.
Now then, let us be off. You need merely repeat after me. Hey, did you hear the new Lord's speech? Barnier was a fraud this entire time.
Mental. What? No way.
Was richtig schockiert.
Oh god. Shit's going up to the manor to see it.
You still got a chance. Go down to the square. The town's criers spreading the word to the whole thing. Did you hear? The new lords led the charge on the revolution, and he was the real Jean-François Barnier.
I heard. I was there for his speech. He's so young.
And ease on the eyes to boot. They say he spent years living in the slums, hiding his true identity. It must have been so difficult for him. At long we're free from our suffering! Free from the terror of Lord Barnier! Cheers for the new Lord!
Yeah.
Oh, give me a break. You know damn Lord. How goes it, Maria? You look like you ain't slept in weeks. Nah. Where's your smile, girl? Today's the day for celebrating. Oh, go fuck yourself. What? You're the one who pushed him into this! Huh? What you getting pissy about? You pressured him into this dumbass revolution, into becoming the fucking Lord. War. That ain't what happened at all. JACOPO's the one who proposed the whole thing. Bullshit! He was trying to talk sense into you at the Midsummer Festival. Yeah, the love of gripes. What crawled up your ass and died? That batshit asshole's gone, and now we got someone on our side in power. What's there to complain about? Is there anything in that meathead of yours? What was that? You do realize he can never come back now, right? He's the Lord. He's gone. He's gone for good. Up there in the manor, all by himself. And you dragged him to the top of that hill and left him there. I get that you want someone to take this out on, but JACOPO's also the one who proposed becoming the Lord. No. I didn't push a damn thing on him. He showed up one day with a ring bearing the Bonnier family's crest, and then told everyone he was royalty and had a claim to the throne. This is insane. It was his words that sparked the revolution. There's no way. JACOPO is royalty. You need to get a better sense of humor. My thoughts exactly at first too, but then I saw the crest on the ring. It's the real deal. Did you miss the part? I missed the part where that's my. Did you miss the whole part where, when he put on the ring in front of everyone, before we stormed the manor, his whole spiel was about being the heir? That was pretty damn convincing, if I do say so myself. You seriously think I was there for some stupid pep talk? Ain't ya his friend? Wah. Gonna wanna taste this. Before you go. Ain't ya his friend? I feel like a friend should be rooting for success, you know? That's what I'm doing. Can't say that much. Anyway, I got a head date with a couple of cakes.
I got a couple of cakes.
So how do you?
Nice.
Unless you wanna come with. We're gonna be partying all night long. Like hell I'm coming. Just thought I'd ask. Try not to look so sour all the time, Kay. You're much prettier when you're smiling. Choke on a thick asshole. Duly noted. Later. Can't root for him because he's my friend. I know better than anyone that he's in over his head. All I can do is pray for you, JACOPO. Pray that you'll always be the JACOPO we know. That this won't change you. We're still friends, right? Even if we're worlds apart now.
After giving me just enough time to recover, Odin quickly got to work instructing me everything I need to know to be a lord. My first priority was to revitalize the city, cleaning up the mess my predecessor had left it in. As much as I wanted to ensure that everyone had food and water, it simply wasn't possible to make happen overnight. We would need to significantly expand our farmland, build additional granaries, repair existing irrigation canals, not to mention crack down on crime and disorder. There was so much to do, it was almost dizzying, but the last thing I had time to do was wine. And said none of it could happen with a snap of the fingers. It would take time and manpower, which meant we would have to use existing stores in this meantime. I asked the people, particularly among the upper class, to relinquish ownership of the stockpiles for me to distribute among the population. That would allow everyone to make it through the transitional period, I figured. Naturally though, not everyone was happy with the arrangement, but the cries of dissatisfaction were drowned out by cheers of support when I explained that it was for everyone's sake, that we would need to band together to carry the whole city through what would be a rocky transition. I was patting myself on the back for a job well done. Odilon shook his head and said,
It will hold a year at most.
We have enough stores to last 3 years, though. 2 if we want to be extra safe.
They will set your manor ablaze long before the stores run dry.
Excuse me? Why would they? I'm obviously doing everything in my power to revitalize the city. And I was the one who freed them from the claws of the tyrant.
The people see only the results. Though they accept your promises of improvement now, if in a year's time they do not see those words bear fruit, their trust in you wither away. That you come from the slums is viewed now as a heroic rise to power, but your past will soon be turned against you, used to legitimize you. You must produce for them tangible results.
God, I knew this wouldn't be easy, but still, it boils my blood to think my predecessor, sat around on his ass all day. Did he even accomplish anything in his entire time as a lord?
I can think of only one truly positive effect of his regime. His support for the arts.
His what?
Surely you have seen the numerous pieces of art adoring this manor's walls. He would often treat himself with works from the finest artists and artisans in the land.
Oh, you mean all those paintings and vases and fancy drapes? Bunch of worthless junk, every last bit of it. None of it will do anything to fill the people's empty stomachs.
It would seem you understand not the value of art.
But I did grow up in the slums.
Do you know what purpose art serves?
To make you feel better? It's nice to have around, but not much more than that.
Right, my boy. Those who hunger for power similarly hunger for ways to flaunt it, and the singularity of a piece of art fills that role. Some have a genuine appreciation for art, others merely use it as a tool. But nonetheless, skilled craftsmen, artists, and their work naturally gravitate towards those with power. It would be nice for you to consider dressing somewhat less pedestrian suit.
Wise.
Hab ich gesagt? Was hab ich gesagt?
Nice.
Nein, ich hab weiß gesagt. Wahrscheinlich sagt er. Seht ihr, das would be nice to dress. Now, we should be able to put the former lord's possessions to good use in helping you build up valuable relationships.
You mean start handing out bribes?
Indeed, but remember, they are negotiation tools. You must use them where they provide you the greatest returns.
Negotiation, huh? Alright, I think I see what you're getting at. If I want to revitalize the city in a year, I'm going to need help from my good neighbors. In exchange, for provisions and workers, and offer the various counts pieces from Banier's collection. Sound about right?
Precisely. My, you are much cleverer than I would expect from a man from the slums. Now, if only you would become accustomed to this manner of thinking, you could become a fine leader in a short while.
I appreciate the concern, old man.
I will dispatch messengers and arrange meetings with the counts so we can begin anon. And I hope I do not have to remind you that you will need to be very careful with your words, Lord Banier.
Yeah, I know.
You seem quite tired, Lord Banier.
You think? Every day I have to go meet with someone new, and I spend all my travel time learning how to read and write.
What?
It's enough to exhaust anyone.
It is necessary nonetheless. Illiteracy will only...
Yes, I know. He said I look tired, and I'm telling you why that is. Never said I had a problem with it.
I overstepped. My apologies. Your diligence has been invaluable in earning the Count's favor, Lord Banier. I think quite fondly of you.
Is that so? Okay, Andrew? Because that's certainly not the impression I'm getting. They put on a facade of friendliness, but beneath the surface they're all laughing, trying to figure out how to best use me, or just outright scoffing. Not one of them sincerely trusts me. I'm just a pawn to them.
We are all pieces on one another's part. Und die releasen so Arcane. Vor jede Woche 3 Folgen.
Ja. Kannst du mal stretchen? Das ist mein.
Wie viel Text ist meins? Und das ist deins. Ich hab dein Zeug.
Doch, muss sein. Das ist meins. Das ist auch meins. What's that supposed to mean? It would be most prudent. Oh. Consider that unqualified friendship simply does not exist in high society. All interpersonal relationships are built upon a foundation of mutual benefit, save for exceedingly rare short-lived expeditions. Exceptions. Nonetheless, we should not consider being used as a bad thing. We all climb atop each other's boards, offering ourselves up as a powerful piece. And so do they offer themselves to us. Should you wish to survive in a high society, you must always ensure your peers see you as a piece of worth playing. It would mean you're putting yourself out there as well, old man.
Yeah. Indeed, I am your pawn, Lord. I offer myself to you, and in you're using me, I gain this position as consul to the Lord. This is a far more practical and reliable system than one founded on something so uncertain as emotion. Would you not say?
But just to say I'm a pawn to him as much as he is to me. I suppose so. Then I too will have to ensure I remain useful, lest I be swept aside and another Barnier brought in to take my place.
Oh, that words, my boy. Oh, my lord. But worry.
My boy, what do you fucking say? Oh yeah, I will have you executed.
But worry not, for I have no qualms with your performance at present. No, Lord, but we must discuss you next.
Hold on a sec, would you?
Yes, sir.
Do you mind not calling me Lord Barnier in private? I can understand why you'd want to keep up the charade even when no one's
Ja,
looking,
man weiß nie, wer zuhört.
but frankly I'm just not comfortable with it.
Very well. Then, my lord, it shall be.
Can't say I'm surprised he won't use my real name.
Morgana hat immer noch nicht JACOPO gesagt oder
Ja.
gedacht.
But still, yeah, that will do, thank you.
Not at all. Now back to business, my lord.
It took long enough, but we're finally starting to see some real progress. Also, alles ab jetzt Part 2 ist so eigentlich, was wir so gar nicht gesehen haben. Weil das davor, wir wussten so, wie es halt endet. Mit den Bandits. Also nicht dazwischen. Oder dass es durch Jaren so ist, ne? Aber jetzt wissen wir, denke ich, pretty much nothing. So. Nur, dass er assassinated wurde, so von Leuten, denen er vertraut war. Ja, das war's. New negotiation with so much work.
You should be proud of your accomplishments, my lord. It is hardly an easy feat to amass that much manpower and resources in only 6 months.
Doing better than expected, huh? How's public opinion looking? Reports should be coming in by now, I assume.
Some dissatisfaction, but numbers are within expectations.
Dissatisfied with what? I spent every waking moment these past 6 months working my ass off to revitalize the city, and people aren't happy with that? They should be jumping with joy.
My lord, you must understand that this is impossible. That it is impossible to satisfy everyone. A degree of discontent is to be expected.
Even so, it should be blindingly obvious how much better I'm doing than the previous basket of rainbows and kittens.
All is forgotten on the gentle ebb and flow of time. Past injustice met the litter in the face of the present.
It hasn't even been a year.
The people do not genuinely care about you, nor will they ever. They may sing your praises one day and forget about you the next. I believe we have been through this before.
Surely there's someone out there who gets it.
That is wishful thinking, my lord. You could work yourself to your very bones, and the people would merely see you as fulfilling your duty. You must not seek their approval. More will be expected of you, and more will be the subject of undeserved resentment, for the simple reason that you exist in a position of power. Only those in a similar position can understand your hardships. Ultimately, then, you have two choices. Either dedicate yourself in the service of your people, or mercilessly exploit them like your predecessor.
I won't follow in that bastard's footsteps.
I pray your heart remains true, that you remain a wise and caring lord.
Damn it. So what specifically aren't people happy about?
The foremost is food shortages. This was anticipated, and all we can do is ask them to persevere. The second comes from the upper class.
Go on.
They are quite naturally displeased about being made to surrender their stockpiles. It would be prudent to offer them a remuneration for the near future.
They're doing well enough for themselves already.
My lord,
I know, just letting off some steam. So I get to go butter up all the rich men in town. Wonderful. The whole idea was to help the less well-off, yet here I am.
I understand that you are not pleased about this, my lord, but do remember you have more to fear from a few of the upper class banding together than the entirety of the slums. For they wield a most troublesome weapon, an upper class upbringing. They know precisely what to tell, and what to tell about you to tarnish your reputation in the blink of an eye. And do not placate yourself by thinking the common man will see through their attempts to undermine you. Even if they did, an unlikely supposition, they could do nothing to counter it. They are powerless. But it was
the people at the bottom who pulled most of the weight, organizing and executing the revolution.
That was an exceptional set of circumstances that allowed the revolution to take place as it did, and the last of which was the Lord's status as unequivocally evil in the eyes of the people. You will not find them all agreeing on anything so readily now.
Alright, I get it. The point is, I gotta win over all the rich people, or my whole operation's going to come to a grinding halt, right? So as much as it rubs me the wrong way, I'll do what I have to do.
A wise decision, my lord.
Is that the last of the complaints?
No. The influx of immigrants has caused an increase in general unrest.
Of course it has. I bring them in to help with the restoration effort, and they go and cause their own set of problems. Yeah. Oh no. It's like I'm chasing my tail here.
So long as there are people under your authority, never will you be completely free of strife.
You're telling me? So with increasing the guards' presence in the city, peace?
Most of those with the training necessary are already deployed, meaning you would need to have new guards trained from the ground up. You will have to mobilize them where they are most needed.
In other words,
tighten your grip on the slums.
So now I've got to take away their freedom.
I know you have personal attachment to that area, my lord, but you must cast that aside. No longer are you the man you once were. The slums should have never been allowed to fall into such lawlessness in the first place. You will merely be restoring it to its proper state. If you truly wish to bring prosperity to this land, you must eventually scale down and then eliminate the slums.
But if we get rid of the slums, I'll be getting rid of their home.
My lord.
And now I understand what you're getting at. And I understand that everything you're saying is perfectly logical. Can we hold off on that for a bit? A bunch of guys down there formed this peacekeeper group to, keep the peace. They'd gladly help out if we could talk to them, I'm sure. We can scale up our patrols, but no stepping on their toes. Got it?
As you command, my lord. Yo.
Let's go! JACOPO great auf das Trip! Guckt ihn euch an, Freunde. Guckt ihn euch an, Digga. Jetzt ist er endlich zu dem Magi-Drip geworden, Alter.
Das macht doch mehr Sinn. Es wurde irgendwann mal so gesagt, dass er so, wie er hier ist, nicht so sein wahres Selbst ist, weißt du? Ne? Jetzt wissen wir wieder.
Hard to believe it's been a whole year. It feels like I only just started yesterday. Yet also like I've been doing this forever.
You're looking somewhat worse for wear, my lord.
Do I? Who am I kidding? You're right. On the other hand, you don't look like you even lost an hour of sleep this entire year. Goes to show how inexperienced I really am.
While it is true that I have been in this position for many years, I also do not bear nearly as much responsibility as you. I merely stand in the background and offer you small pieces of advice. All the while you face the crowds directly, negotiate with counts, make dozens of difficult decisions. If there is one thing I have learned in all my years, it is that I could never begin to imagine the weight a ruler must carry. Never mind one who was never raised to take the throne and thrust themselves into the labyrinth of politics and high society. There would be a greater surprise if the trends had not taken their toll.
It reminds me, Barnier was Lord for a full decade before we took him out, wasn't he? And as you recall, he wasn't as much the spot early on. If just 1 year has taken this much out of me, how much longer before I'm no longer able to act like a reasonable human being? No, don't think like that, Jacopo. Actually, forget it. What matters is that we seem to be doing a good job minimizing this content.
Indeed, you've successfully made it for the first year. The city is decidedly more presentable than it was when you took the throne. There are precious few who could replicate your accomplishments in such a short time. You would do well to take pride in your work.
Pushing to do everything so quickly has taken its toll. The people are worn thin, slaves are dying by the droves. I still have a ways to go before there's anything I can be proud of.
Slaves are the tool of progress, my lord. Tools do not last forever and must be replaced regularly.
And you can't build a house with your bare hands, I get it.
You learn quickly.
Not even a year ago would have been up in arms about the number of slaves dying. But now they're just numbers to me. Apparently my worldview has changed quite a bit.
It is about time we start considering our next step.
Meaning?
Meaning your efforts thus far have merely been toward repairing the damage caused by your predecessor.
You make it sound like all this has just been a warm-up.
I apologize. I did not mean to discount your great efforts, my lord. I was simply speaking of the grander scheme.
Yeah, I got that. You want to settle on a direction for how to grow the city, right?
Indeed. Status quo is vastly inadequate for bringing prosperity to this land. And there is no saying when the surrounding territories may cease being so friendly and set their eyes upon conquering us. But of course, you cannot keep your eyes trained outward in fear of attack and allow the land to devour itself from the inside either.
So what you're saying is it's a balancing act.
Precisely.
So what kind of advancements do you want to pursue? There's something that's been on my mind. This land is ill-suited to growing crops. When I lived down in the slums, I had no perspective and figured that what we produce here was no different than anywhere else. But now I know better. The grapes used for our wine are miserable and compared to what I've been served elsewhere, as is nearly everything else we grow. I can only assume the land itself is to blame.
Oh, the wine from the south is indeed exceptional. You quite nearly gave me a heart attack when you leapt from your chair in the middle of a meeting, shouting,
"This is nothing like the wine from home." Enough. It never happened. It was my first time tasting anything like it, alright? Anyone would have had the same reaction.
oh, you have grown much, but nevertheless you are still quite good.
God, I really need to watch myself around this man.
In any rate, it would be ideal if we could begin producing high quality grapes. Not necessarily to compete with the south, but enough to be serviceable. Efforts to improve our farmland are underway. Enough as it could take for some time before we see the progress.
Although,
have you any propositions, my lord?
actually I was thinking it might be best to cut back on agriculture.
Do elaborate.
What if we were to build the city up into a trade hub of sorts?
Meaning, You wish to open our gates to our neighbors?
Exactly. One thing the city has going for it is its wealth of artisans. But for years we've only ever exported our goods. We want to bring people here to purchase. We reduce taxes for merchants and give them special privileges, set tariffs and order taxes lower than they are in the capital. And business will naturally find its way here. This land may be less than optimal for farming, but it's more than adequate for trade. We're in a convenient location to serve as a hub for the surrounding realms. Rather than close our borders and wall ourselves off entirely, opening up and making ourselves of value to our neighbors is far more likely to dissuade potential invasion. We all pieces on another's borders, isn't that right? Who says that can't apply to the entire city? The best way to expand without stepping on anyone's toes is to do so in a way that benefits them as well as us. What do you think?
A rather aggressive strategy you propose, my lord. If I may be so bold, there will be many obstacles to this plan's success. You will need to arrange meetings with the head of each realm you intend to invite, the order of timing of which will be crucial to its success. Furthermore, the influx of outsiders will be a source of much tension among your people.
So you think I'm aiming too high?
You are indeed aiming exceedingly high. The obstacles will be numerous and precipitous. Nonetheless, obstacles can be overcome. Your exhaustion is nothing compared to the weariness that awaits you down this path. Do be well aware of this, my lord.
You're damn right I am. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go all in. Und dann Poker, alles verloren. The Lord's manor sat atop a tall hill, gazing out the city stretched before me.
War der berührt, oder?
Ja,
Wenn man über den Lord redet. Er ist ja der Lord. Da meint er einfach so.
hoch. Ich glaube. Nee, stimmt. Countless columns of smoke rising from the buildings, with people scurrying about like so many ants. From up here I had the perfect view of the bustle of the city, but I was too far away to feel the life breathing through it. I think I used to be one of those tiny little specks. Thousands of people lived there. Had families, jobs, friends, hobbies. But as much as I was cognizant of that fact, I no longer grasped it on anything more than a conceptual level. It was incredible just how much my view of the world had changed in merely a year's time. I'm gonna go out into the world, I said. I thought that clawing my way to the top of the ladder would let me see it, would let me experience it. That with power, I could have the whole world at my fingertips, but reality wasn't so simple. This sure isn't what I was looking for. Hell, I feel like the chains just gotten tighter around my neck. There's no way to truly grasp the view from this height without climbing up and seeing it for yourself. And that was exactly where I was a year ago, blind to the reality of life in the upper echelons, fantasizing about a world that didn't exist. Like the me of the past, I did have the satisfaction of feeling like I was accomplishing big things. But was that really worth cutting myself off from all my friends? Did those achievements really justify a bloody revolution? Or, I suppose I should ask, was this work valuable enough to me to justify it all? Reminiscing about days long gone wasn't going to help anything, and in fact it only served to cause me pain. I couldn't return to that time. This was where my quest for power had brought me, and now I had to live all my days as lord of this land, telling myself day after day that it was far better than being a powerless slumberer. God, I've been so busy these past few weeks. My eyes are... Yo, one day I'll show you the world.
It's also a flashback filter.
Uh-huh.
Do we ever get tired of saying that?
You've gotta think big, dream. The world's changing all around us. A life just fighting to make it by day to day is hardly a life at all. I don't want to spend the rest of my days confined to this tiny little corner of the world.
Well, try not to let your dreams grow so big they crush you.
I'm sure I'll be fine. Okay, that's... I'd have you sing for me if it ever gets too overwhelming.
Why would I be there?
Why wouldn't you? It's hard to show you the world if I don't bring you with me. Now you still won't know where you want to go. So I bring you with me. We can find a place for you together. Pretty good deal, huh?
I don't need to see the world. All I want is... Das haben wir nicht gesehen, ne?
Ja. All I want is... Nee, er hat selber nicht gehört wegen dem Wind.
Ja, stimmt. Also wir haben nicht...
Ja. Dozed off for a second there.
Denkst du, wir sehen irgendwann, was sie gesagt hat, wie so Ruffys Traum?
Ja, vielleicht.
So auch irgendwann sehen wird.
Wir sehen... Ich sage, es ist so... Also wir sehen hier die ganze Zeit bei JACOPO. Ich sage, ich switch auch irgendwann mal so zu Morgana,
Ja, hoffe ich.
wie es viel ist. Und dann reminiscen sie auch über das Gleiche und dann sehen wir, was sie sich gedacht hat. Oder was sie gehört hat. So sag ich.
I will love it.
It feels like those days were an eternity ago. I don't see the world. All I want is... All you want is what? Morgana. What were you trying to tell me? Switch
Ja,
sphere?
okay, wenn es jetzt nochmal irgendwie September ist,
Oh, let's go! Man, it feels like a whole different place here now.
You think? Looks like the same old nasty dump it's always been. He's talking about the whole city, adult.
Exactly, things are on the up and up in the proper city proper, but we ain't seeing a scrap of it down here. The heck's up with that? All the new shops are spilling out past the city border. The highway into town's turned into a full-blown bazaar.
Oh, sounds nice. Is there anything in that damned head of yours? We're saying how come we still living here like rats if they got enough spare coin to build all that market space? Hell, with all these damned immigrants coming in, the slums are an even bigger shithole than before. You know, I never thought much of it till now, but you're right. The gang's been a lot busier lately with all the drifters.
And JACOPO, Lord Banier, ain't showed his mark down here even once since he took over. I mean, I get that the bloody lord can't spend all day hanging out in the slums, but he could at least visit. Instead, he's spending all his time buddying up with the rich folks.
And we used to be such good friends too. Wonder if he's planning to just not bother with it at all. With us at all.
I hope not, but that's sure what it's looking like. I think he'd at least throw us a bone rather than letting the merchants and upper class take coin baths in his coffers. Guess when he became one of them, he became just like them too.
Feels like we're in this exact same place we were a year ago. He's no different than der Opa-Nier, was auch du gesagt hast, ne? Dass es so sein wird.
Ja.
Dass es zu lange gedauert hat. Shit.
Wir wissen nur, dass er irgendjemand so zu sich hoch eingeladen hatte und dann Assassination Attempt auf ihn war, aber wir wissen nicht wen.
Psst. God. Oh, it's you. So, you find anything?
I have got the proof you was looking for, slovenly man. If you'd be so kind as to never give me a job like this again, I'd be hanged twice over if the nobles found out I was sniffling around in their business.
Spielen wir eigentlich, brauchst du eigentlich mit Controller hier so?
Weiß nicht.
Oh, quit being such a bitch. You didn't steal nothing or kill anyone, you're fine.
Ich glaube, man kann sich mit Controller spielen.
So. Das kannst du connecten.
Nee, ich meine, also ich glaube, das gibt es nur für Boss. Ich weiß es noch nicht. I mean, secrets can sometimes be worth more than life. But on the planet night, your suspicions were correct.
Well, fuck me sideways. Use your pay. Take it and piss off.
Nice doing business. Hey, oh, no. I risked my neck to get that for you, and this is all I get in return?
Got a problem with that, you little bitch?
No, sir.
Don't you worry. You'll get your fair due shortly.
Ja, was hat er? Wahrscheinlich war das so ein Report, was macht JACOPO? Und dann war es safe so, er chillt mit den Nobles, gar mit denen, obwohl er eigentlich so hat. These construction costs are really starting to pile up. Can we put the main repairs off until we've taken care of more pressing matters? Like using that money to help the poor.
Sorry. Lord and his reticence are the face of his land. If you wish for the city to continue thriving upon the fruits of your relationships with the surrounding realms, you must maintain a minimum level of respectability, my lord. Merchants in particular are merciless judges of appearance. Of this you can be certain. No respectable merchant will do business on equal terms with a city whose lord refuses to take care of his own home.
I get it, but still, it's so much money.
These are unnecessary expenses to acquire the resources required to aid the world class. We must increase the rate of production. Efforts must begin at the top and gradually work down. You must not be in such a great rush, my lord. The works you are performing is on a much longer scale than perhaps that of which you are accustomed.
You have a point. Then let the construction continue. I'm definitely coming to see just how crucial a bit of embellishment can be to surviving in high society. Every engagement is like throwing myself into a lion's stand, and everyone surrounding me measuring me up. They question my pedigree, some with their eyes, some with their mouths, some even attempt to dig up dirt on me in order to tilt the scales in their favor. Oh yeah! Wanna cook some crystal meth? Yeah, but yeah, there was one time when I was straight up shouted at right to my face.
You're no more damn noble than any of those other rats whose nest you crawled out of.
If I recall. Not that he was wrong. I took the throne by force. It's only natural that people are going to have suspicions that I came from the slums. It's just the icing on the cake. Damn lucky if condescension is the worst treatment I get on a first encounter. And then there are the distant relatives by near let slip through the cracks, slithering back up to assert their right to the land. There are a lot more people out to get me than I first anticipated.
Do remain strong, my lord.
How? How? I don't know. Sorry. I will always be strong. Yeah? I don't know, man. If I so much as let these wolves smell weakness, they pounce all over me. Like hell I'm going to let that happen. Let it burn. I won't have time to work on helping the poor if I have to spend my days fending off packs of bloodthirsty nobles. I must always appear strong under any circumstances. I, of all people, should know just how easily a lord can be dethroned. And I'll be next if I leave even the slightest opening. Yo.
Yeah.
I have to do whatever it takes to make sure that's not my future.
Perhaps you should get some rest, my lord.
Excuse me? Are you insane? I had to review the construction budget so that...
Allow me to handle that. I will get you something to drink. Perhaps a glass of the southern wine you are so fond of. It is quite sweet. Perfect for alleviating built-up fatigue.
I'm not fatigued.
Come now, please take this request from an overly concerned consul, my lord.
Fine, you win. It's pleasant. It's hard to believe it's only been a year and a half. Okay, wir sehen immer so die halbe Jahres Skips. Was ich mich aber noch, was ich mich aber noch frage, was ist dann so nach den 4 Jahren? Was war, hat der wirklich so einen Schwung gehabt oder war es dann wirklich erst der Schwung, dass er so richtig crazy geworden ist, als aus Versehen Morgana erwischt hat? Weil er hat das nur gemacht für Money. Dann hat sie gesagt, sie opfert sich halt eine Oma.
Ja.
Egal, sehen wir dann. It's hard to believe. Also, feel like we go back. Feel like we go way back.
Oh. We do see each other every day, after all.
I'm starting to crave some variety, to be honest.
Same. Also ich finde das gerade hier. Weißt du, ich meine, dass man im Audio für mehr von Maria Morgana.
Die sehen wir aber nicht. Also Morgana vielleicht, aber Maria und so werden wir jetzt nicht sehen, weil
Morgana.
Jacob sie auch nicht sieht. Aber für Liberation wieder so ein Assassination-Plan, wie ich gesagt hatte, schon seit Anfang an. I never found a good opportunity to ask this, but
Yes.
do you have any family? I will listen to me.
Oh, keeps.
Because if you do, you're more than welcome to have them live here.
I appreciate the concern, my lord, but they have all passed away.
All of them.
Indeed. My entire family was eradicated at the previous lord's order.
Oof.
Once, and only once, I offered him my humble opinion. So infuriated was he by my insolence that he had my family murdered. In my humble opinion, you should do this.
No.
That's transparent. I would have much preferred myself. I would have much preferred myself killed in their stead. But he was a man who reveled in other suffering.
Yeah, and you just kept on serving him?
That is correct. I acted as his loyal servant, too afraid to speak up again.
Acted?
Recall what I said when we first met. I was sitting in wait for the perfect opportunity. Now that you understand why.
Well, damn. Elaboration.
If I may come clean about that time, I had every intention of disposing of the revolution's puppet master. Never once did I trust Ginevra. Her foolish motives were plain as day. Yeah, and as the new lord's mother, she planned to control her planted usurper from the shadows, acting as the effective governor of the land, the usurper, Bernier. Having no family left myself, the city and its people are like my children. So I refused to stand by and allow her to turn them into tools to satisfy her own avarice. The land would hardly survive a tyrant sweeping in to replace the tyrant. But she was removed from the board by the former lord before she had a chance to see her aspirations to fruition. Knowing she was no longer in danger, I decided I would wait and see how the successor fared before taking any further action, to determine if you were sufficient to serve as lord of this land. And I guess I passed, huh?
And I get the pass, huh?
Are you not upset, my lord?
Nothing to be upset about. You never hid the fact that you acted in your own interests. That if a piece had no value to you, you discarded it. And I always knew there was more than what you were telling me. I just say I'm relieved to still be standing here.
Oh, if only you knew the power. If only you knew how close you were to falling on the other side of that line.
Am I really that on edge? After all the work I've put into that?
While you do have a rare aptitude and strength of spirit, you are still much too easily swayed by your emotions.
Nah.
Ergo, I shall continue to instruct you until you are able to fully satisfy my expectations. It's rather curious, so often do we speak so great our time together. I have come to think of you as my second son.
Don't get all mushy on me, old man. We're not friends, and we're not family. I'm a pawn on your board, you are a pawn on mine. Strictly business.
Oh, my apologies. I never said a word.
Right, never happened. Aber Digga, das ist so richtig so geplayt von Ovilon. Vielleicht ist es auch true, dass er jetzt so gesagt hat, so, you like my second son.
Yeah.
Aber er hat selber gerade davor gesagt, du hast immer noch deine Emotions und genau das nutzt er jetzt gerade aus.
Yeah.
Ja. Moving right along. Er hat ja auch nicht richtig erzählt, wie laut Barnier wirklich zum Thron kam, also der Alte.
Yeah.
Dass die anderen ihn killen wollten. Weil er hat so erzählt, dass er alle gekillt hat.
Yeah.
Naja. You just keep on doing what you do best.
At your service, my lord.
Smile.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, do we have any free hands around capable of riding a horse? A man. Fucking horse.
For what purpose?
There's someone I once found. So, Morgana.
Ja, Mann.
Aber erst nach 1,5 Jahren hat er sich entschieden.
Echt so.
And I lost in my box.
Whoever it may be you wish to find, my lord, I am obliged to remind you that...
You don't have to finish that, I know. I'm supposed to leave the past in the past.
Let us see then. You might have their hands rather full at present, though we can perhaps arrange for one of them to be reassigned.
Are you sure?
This is a small request, and not once in your entire tenure have you requested to use your men for personal matters. I believe we can spare a hand or two on such rare occasions.
Much appreciated.
Shall I arrange for them to be set off immediately?
Please. I'm looking for a girl. If she's alive, she'll look around 13 or 14. And she has unusual markings on her face.
Markings akin to burn scars? Super.
Barnier once imprisoned her in this manner. He used her as a prop for his banquets, cutting her up from head to toe. My guess is that the patches on her face are a result of Barnier's abuse.
Indeed, I know the girl. I presumed she had not survived the slave revolt. I take it you care quite deeply about this girl, my lord. Then allow me to offer my sincerest apologies in his stead.
No need to apologize. Will you help me find her, Odidon?
I will oversee the search operation personally, to the best of my ability, my lord. I pray the girl is still alive.
As do I, unlikely as it may be. I'm just chasing after a sliver of a dream that's shattered long ago. Ja, also echt, wie hat Morgana diesen Bandit-Angriff überlebt und wer hat das an ihrem Gesicht gemacht? Weil, ob es bei mir war, ich glaube ja nicht, aber vielleicht doch.
Es wird auch gesagt, dass es vielleicht so ist mit dem Emotional State.
Ja, ja.
Ja.
Ja, und halt, ob Morgana das selber war oder so. Vielleicht sehen wir ihre Perspektive, wie das war. Anyways, I'm just chasing after the sliver of a dream that's shattered long ago. Die ist smiling. That said, if you do find her, bring her here without telling her it's at the Lord's order. She likely assume it's all Barnier after her if you say anything. And if she happens to have found a new home where she's happy, just leave her be.
Understood.
Time drifted slowly onward. As I'd anticipated, there was no news regarding her whereabouts, but new shops and stores continued opening in the city, with them coming a steady flow of travelers and passing merchants. And as traffic through the city increased, so too did the number of people seeking an audience with me. I was getting busy by the day. My plans to attract merchants and artisans from the capital had worked, and every one of them seemed to have a bigger, more ambitious proposition than the last. My days became a cycle of meetings, reviewing propositions, balancing the budget, and deciding whether to proceed or postpone. And amidst all the tumult, my thoughts drifted ever further from the poorest of my people. And that's the last of today's meetings. There's no end in sight to this.
This is a good thing, my lord. That it means you have succeeded in drawing traffic to the city.
I guess, but still, I need to go back and review all this proposed, so...
Lord Ben, yeah, a moment.
I don't have a moment to spare.
A townsperson requested an audience with the Lord. You have been instructed to deny entry to commoners. I tried, but he refuses to leave the gate.
Hold on, what's this man's name?
Gratian.
No.
Sir, he calls himself Gratian.
Oh shit, is it really him? Ja, ey, er hat ja einen reingelassen. Ich glaube echt, es ist wichtig, dieser Assassination Attempt von Gretchen. Also, mal schauen, vielleicht kommt es später. Let him in, by all means.
Aber ist der Kopf auch nie so. Oder ich guess, das kann er nicht machen. Dass er so nicht Islam zu blicken ist, aber nie so mit Gratian getalkt wird.
Eben, ich glaube, er hat keinen von denen seit da gesehen, seit 1,5 Jahren.
My lord, you mustn't give anyone special treatment.
Gretchen is not just anyone. We've been to hell and back together. He wouldn't be here if it wasn't important. I should hear what he has to say.
No, my lord, you cannot. Your past is.
He's a good friend, I'm not sending him away. That's not even on the table.
Friend or not, you mustn't give him an audience. You are the new lord, and he's a mere peasant. You cannot be certain he will hold himself proper decorum.
I don't appreciate what you're implying about my friend, old man. He's no goddamn brute.
I imply nothing, my lord.
Keep your counsel to topics you actually know something about. I'm not going to stand by and listen to anyone insult my friends, not even you.
My lord, must I remind you yet again to keep your temper in check?
God, that's enough out of you. I'm done, not another word on the subject.
My lord.
Hey guard, open the gate.
Yes, sir. Stop, Jacopo. It's been ages.
It feels like forever. How have you been doing?
Never been better. How about you, kid? Show proper respect to your lord, peasant. You are to refer to him as Lord Barnier, not any false names he may have responded to while in hiding. Seriously? You ain't gonna let him kick back even for a buddy?
Enough, Odilon. You can call me by my old name.
But my lord.
I said I've heard enough from you.
Well, look at you taking charge and barking orders. All important, like. You're like a whole new man, my lord.
Please, you can use my name.
I'm dead serious though. Hard to believe it ain't even been 2 years. Also, es fühlt sich länger.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, seriously, you look like a whole new man.
You think so? I don't feel like I've changed all that much myself.
I don't know, you're just, what's the word? Eminate lordliness now. Guess it don't take long the nobles then to turn into one of them. No matter how far down the chain you come from. And look at this room. Look at all these fancy fucking furnishings. None of this is all Barnier's stuff, is it?
No, with all the meetings I've been having, I needed to make sure I had a room that was nice and presentable.
Well, that's one way to put it.
I don't think I'm just throwing around money for the fun of it. If I want any pull-in and negotiations, I need to look like I have.
No need to explain yourself, kid. I totally get it. It ain't easy dealing with a bunch of rich folks with sticks up their asses.
I appreciate it. Anyway, what brings you here today?
Well, but do I need a reason to visit a friend? Can the guy just want to hang out and catch up? Come on.
I never said that. I'm just extremely busy at the moment. I don't have much time to spare for anyone.
Come on. Don't be such a tight ass. That's exactly why I'm here. To make sure you don't got that stick up there so deep it punctuates your brain. You gotta let loose sometimes.
I suppose. Thank you for your concern.
So let's get sloshed, just like the old days. I even brought the booze.
I wish I could, but I don't have the time.
You'll drink with merchants and rich snobs, but not me? That stinks, kid. Right to the gut.
I see you're as pushy as ever. Alright, fine. One drink, in the back room.
One more drink, no more, no less. Haha, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh mein Gott, es ist so poisoned oder so.
Oh, ist okay. Vor allem, du hast so richtig.
Yeah.
My lord.
It'll be fine, Orlona. We go back years. There's nothing wrong with a couple of friends sharing drinks after hours.
If you insist, my lord. But the peasant must leave his blade behind. I will not, under any circumstances, allow you to be alone with an armed slum dweller. Yeesh! Everyone here needs to loosen up, huh? You seriously think I'm gonna pull a sword on an old pal? Poison. Humor me. Whatever, fine. You win, old-timer.
Ja, man kann noch ein zweites verstecken.
Happy now?
Ja, vor allem, er hatte irgendwie eine Nachricht gehabt, so. Selbst so, dass er die ganze Zeit so nur mit den Alten, mit so...
Ja,
schlau
ja.
Und Gratian ist ja auch nicht schlau, sag ich.
Ja, aber Gratian würde doch nicht in Instant...
Ja, er hat ja die 1,5 Jahre gewartet.
Ja, aber er hat ihn seitdem nicht gesehen. Also ich glaube nicht, dass ich ihn direkt kennen würde. Ich würde wahrscheinlich erstmal so sagen, so, Bro, what are you doing here? Ich hätte Sound oder so. Und dann, wenn er sagt, no, can't do this, dann yes.
Sorry about that, Gratian. Orlean's always on edge. It's nothing personal.
Nah, it's cool. Can't say I blame him. Now let's go get trashed. I brought a little something from the pub we used to haunt. Bet you usually drink water. Bet you usually drink way better shit than this now that you're the freaking lord. But it'll be like old times, you know?
This reminds me of the time we had that drinking contest.
Wanna go that around?
And as a refrain, Orlean would murder me if I did that.
Sounds like the geezers got you by the balls, huh? No fun allowed up there in the Lord's house.
It can be rather suffocating, yeah.
Well, you can at least let loose today. It's all times, kid.
To all times. No, this is a sight I never dreamed of. The two of us here in the Lord's Manor drinking together. We were both slaves when we met, for God's sake.
Haha, no fucking joke. You never know what life's it'll bring you. Been almost 5 years since then. You weren't even 20 yet.
Expect we have both grown quite a bit since those days. Or are you still running around like a wild boar even now?
Hard to say. I don't think I'm as bad as I used to be, but getting into shit kinda counts with the territory, you know? And the slum's still the same as ever.
I see. So how's everyone doing down there?
We're scrapping by as usual.
The rest of the gang and Maria?
The guys are still lazing around the pub all day. Maria's built a brothel and she's getting by as best she can. Obviously not in the same place, and it's smaller than their old one. But for a chick, she's doing alright for herself.
I'm glad to hear it.
So tell me, kid, you and her totally had a thing, yeah?
Where on earth did that come from? I believe I've already told you. No, we didn't.
Just seems like she's about 10 times more worried about you than anyone else. There must have been something. Doesn't make sense otherwise. Maybe she just had a thing for you and you never saw it. Poor girl.
There were no romantic feelings on either side. We were friends, simple as that. Nothing more, nothing less.
Have you seen those hunters?
What does that have to do with anything?
It just doesn't make sense to me. How can a guy only be friends with a chick?
It just means we value certain things in life differently.
You know, you like to do that sometimes, get all weirdly noble like that. Hey, I didn't mean that as a jab.
It has nothing to do with being noble. Maria is special. We've known each other most of our lives, and we survived hell together.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that before, didn't you? That you two have known each other longer than anyone else. What was it like back then for the two of you?
Before I met her, Maria was raised in an orphanage. She said she ran off because she and the director didn't get along.
Haha, can't say I'm surprised. How about you?
I hardly remember anything from before I came to the city. Just bits and pieces of what my mother told me. Being guarded by a bunch of men, being kidnapped by bandits.
You mean that noble woman? Really a shame you had to lose her so soon after returning, huh? Reuniting, huh?
Indeed it is.
Ha ha ha. Maar die muziek is er gewoon weg. Don't you think it's about time you cut the shit? Also,
Excuse me?
you're not a Barnier. You didn't inherit the throne. You're just a damn fraud. Ain't that right, JACOPO?
What are you talking about?
Bullshit. Digga, das war doch das Poison.
Ja, Digga. Und jetzt, seitdem ist es dann so richtig downhill gegangen, ne?
Finally started to kick in, it looks like. God, you got any idea how hard it was not to throttle you through that entire conversation?
What?
Yeah, we so should.
Almost out of nowhere. My heart rate skyrocketed and my legs started trembling so violently I had to lean against the wall to support myself. The whole world started swirling. And I could just barely make out my old friend glaring at me through the fog.
How you like that? Feels like your heart's about to burst, don't it? Don't you worry, kid. You won't be feeling nothing soon.
You poisoned the drinks? Why would you?
Why? You seriously need me to spell it out for you? Ha! You've been stuffing your head with fucking rainbows up there.
Yeah.
You wanna know what they call you down in the slums? JACOPO the Betrayer.
I did not betray.
You take one goddamn look at the city and tell me that again. while you're up here treating anyone with card and some trinkets to sell like fucking royalty. The slums is still the same rat's nest you left in it. Now, we're even worse off now. With your new marketplace, anyone can turn a little bit of money into big old pile of gold. But if you got nothing to begin with, you're just standing in the streets. All you're doing is making the rich even richer.
No, I'm trying. I want to explain how I had everything planned out. How I first need to improve the economy as a whole before I could turn my attention to the less well-off. That nothing changing was proof I was protecting them. That the slums had been in danger of being eradicated entirely, and I had stopped it. But I could see in his eyes that nothing I said would convince him. As far as he was concerned, I was pure evil.
You're not the man you used to be.
Creation, why? I thought you believed in me.
You're damn right I did. And then you went and fed us a bunch of lies. You called yourself the rightful heir. You called yourself a bonnier. But I did my digging. You don't have a lick of royal blood in you. All you ever wanted was to line your pockets, you selfish bastard.
No,
You never had any intention of helping us.
Please, hear me out, Creation.
We were all just pawns to you. The whole damn revolution was part of your game.
I'm begging you.
How's it feel, knowing your throne sits on the back of all those people you betrayed?
Please.
You don't have any right to call yourself the goddamn lord.
Creation.
Hell, you barely have any right to call yourself a fucking man. You're just a rat in fancy clothes. It should have been me. It should have been me, not you. I would have made an infinitely better lord than you ever were. If only I had that ring, then it could have been me.
That's what this is all about. In a flash, everything I once felt for this man, all the friendship, all the camaraderie, the sympathy, went cold. As much as he tried to dress up this whole farce, that was where his heart truly was. He was just sore about not being the one who got to be the Lord. He believed himself superior. He got himself caught up in the stupid fit of jealousy. And now he's trying to kill me over it? That's seriously all this is? Are you listening to a word you're saying?
What was that?
You're the one who's not the man he used to be. And you're the one who's being a self-centered bastard.
Talk all you want, dead man.
The Creation I knew would never resort to using poison. He'd have drawn his sword the second he passed through those gates, faced me like a man.
True.
But look at you. Even Bania had more of a spine than you.
You dare compare me to that sack of shit? Alright, fine. I'll play it your way.
Er hatte Knife hidden an
Ja,
ihm,
wow,
wie ich
jetzt.
gesagt habe. Aber er hat selber auch Knife immer hidden an him, ne?
Ja, aber jetzt noch
oder
wieder,
danach, weiß nicht mehr. An instant later Creation was brandishing a short blade.
nachdem ich gepoisoned
He
habe.
had snuck it under his gloves, I presumed. I was almost amazed at how thoroughly prepared he was. He'd never had any intention of this going any other way. He hadn't come to talk. He was never going to hear me out. He was here to do one thing, and one thing only. And I doubted he had any plan for what would come next. Raw hate was all that fueled him. He wouldn't take my place after killing me. He wouldn't work himself to the bone to ensure the city kept running. He didn't give a damn about any of that. You're scum! I won't be taken down by some worthless, self-absorbed rat. Nothing I had ever tried had been enough to best Creation in combat. And that was when I was at my peak, not with the myriad needles of his poison prickling my every pore, barely able to stand under my own weight. But still I had no intention of surrendering my life to this cur.
Jo, wie ein Curse,
Ja.
glaube ich mal.
Aber er ist halt wie eine Ratze, ne? Früher hat er einfach Schwert genommen und auf Beruf gegangen, wie er gesagt hat. I took in a deep breath, clenched my teeth, shouted at my shaking limbs, "Move!" Move, move, move! Move, damn you! My fingers, I could feel them again. Before the thought finished passing through my mind, my hand reached for a blade. Grasping the rapier hanging from the wall, I swiftly drew it from its scabbard. It was a decorated blade, not meant for combat. It would probably bounce right off Gretchen's muscular chest. But there was one place I could target. The Augen?
What the hell, you son of a bitch!
Knife in hand, he lunged at me. Just a moment before death befell me, my vision blurred, but the poison grew unbelievably clear. Gretchen almost appeared to be moving in slow motion. I wasn't sure my mind had ever been so clear, so sharp a battle before.
The flow theater.
Yeah. The dying embers of my life, fading life, burned anew into a blazing inferno. Unlike my fight with Barnier, this one was over in an instant. Before I had time to breathe or even blink, it was settled. And in that same instant, everything I had built up with this man turned to dust. I had never once defeated him. For as long as I had known him, I was always number 2. And now, for the very first time, I won.
Why did it have to be you there and not me?
The blade of the rapier in my hand skewered Gretchen's throat. His mouth flapped upon and shut like a fish. He glared at me, face twisted in a mixture of hatred and agony, sputtering fragments of contempt, until the life drained from his eyes. My first victory against my old friend also took his life, and it all happened in the blink of an eye, hardly enough time to even register in my mind.
Ich würde sagen, Original hat doch gehört. My lord, what was all that commotion? What happened?
Er ist ja noch Poison, ne?
My lord, please stay with me. Were you poisoned? Someone? Is anyone here there? Yes, sir. A doctor, as quickly as you can. I.
Ja, warte.
Du musst noch ha sagen. My lord, please, my lord. The doctor will be here shortly. Please, stay with me just a little longer. Nochmal. My lord.
Odilon, you were right. I was stupid. I should have listened. I thought he was my friend, but he wasn't. Not anymore. And because we had once been friends, that made him my greatest threat. Dann von an der Stelle beenden wir dieses Let's Play. Der Gretchen, ich hab's gekauft von Anfang an, ne?
Ja.
Der einzige Grund, warum ich Lord of the Lion heißt es jetzt. Der einzige Grund, warum ich ein bisschen gedacht habe, dass es nicht sein kann, ist eben, weil immer so gesagt wurde, dass Gretchen Number 1 ist. Und er könnte nicht in einem Assassination Attempt ihn zu besiegen. Dachte ich. Aber da hat er halt JACOPO locked in. Anyways, Freunde, ich würde sagen, checkt alle Parts Plays, Videos, Streams ab. Abonniert den Kanal, aktiviert die Glocke. Anders geile Folge, so zu sehen, wie JACOPO als Lord ist. Und vor allem jetzt ist wirklich so sein Downfall, glaube ich. Ne? Sein Trust in alle geht jetzt weg. So richtig.
Ja.
Und wahrscheinlich jucken jetzt in die Slums auch nicht mehr so krass. Also ich glaube, jetzt wird er zu einem nicht so geilen Lord leider, und das müssen wir jetzt sehen. Ja, Freunde, sehr schade. Sehr traurig, muss man ehrlich sagen, und vielleicht geht es irgendwann zu Morgana oder so, aber ja, wieder schon, Freunde, und
Ciao.
ciao.